I have Hamid with me right now from the ZINTAN Media Center. He will give us an update about the Nafusa Mountain for today. Hello, Mr. Hamid.
Hello, everybody, and nice to talk to you.
We hope everything's fine with you.
Yes, everything is fine with me just right now. Yes, it's okay.
Okay, thank God. Can you please update us on what is going on in the Nafusa Mountain?
Yes, what very important a few days ago, very important events have suddenly occurred. The power are now off from most of the mountain of Nafusa, or the West Mountain, ZINTAN, Jadu, Rohaibat, Yefren, and Kikla. There is a power station, main power station. It is located under Jadu mountain. It is under Jadu. There is a small city called Chakshuk. This city includes the main power station, which gives the electricity for most of the Nafusa mountains. Gaddafi troops have damaged this station, or maybe cut or switch off the main key for the power. So now, for about 4 days or 3 days ago, now most of these cities are out of electricity and they are living in great darkness. The thing which makes most of the families and the people terrorized. And the shelling of the Grad missile is still heavily continuous. So many Grad missiles are coming one each other. They landed this randomly. They hit everything. They damaged most of the houses. Most of the families have fled to Tunisia. I myself, I had an old father, and my wife could never bear the situation for 2 days. That's why I am very forced to bring them here in Tunisia to live in safe and calm. The situation is getting worse and worse. Believe me, the kids could not enter the toilets or use the toilets because they are quite frightened of the Grad missiles, and they crying for their fathers and mothers. They say, "Oh, father, we will die. We will die. There is a rocket, heavy bombing." It is every day. The darkness, when the darkness comes, when the sunset is off, it is very, very, very terrible situation, because all the cities are in dark. You just can see only the great explosions of the Grad missiles. And there is a heavy continuous shelling of Grad missiles on ZINTAN, on Rohaibat, and Kikla. I myself have been closer to the borders. I could hear the sound of the tanks, and the Grad missiles are still shelling on neighborhoods. And the situation goes on, and it is very, very miserable, and most of the people are terrorized.
So the situation is getting worse and worse in the Nafusa Mountain.
I think, especially because, the power is the most life source now, because most of the people are using a gas cylinders, where they cook. Now, 2 months we have been out. We run out of these gas cylinders. We don't have them. That's why we use the heater by electricity. Now the electricity is off. Most of the meat, most of the milk, which has to be kept in the fridge, will be spoiled. How could you imagine this situation is going to happen? No power at all. If you people who are important, who are doing very, very active WORSENS and that, using a generator, very, very classic generator, it cannot go on for a long time, and generator requires fuel, and the fuel is one of the most big problems that we suffer. I think that problem is carrying a psychological war against civilians. They do both of us. They do, they're cutting the power and chilling. They know that the people and the families and the kids are out of electricity. It's great bad. And they keep ensuring. Hopefully, I hope that I could give this message, and this message is quite clear for the people, for the world, for those who have a good heart. believe me, please just tell me how can you imagine the life is going to be like.
Yes.
And the hospital also will be a big problem.
Yes.
And the
Do the
hospital
hospitals have
also,
generators?
a few people have generators, but the problem, the generators require fuel. You know, we have a hospital. This hospital has to be powered by big generators, and big generators require a big quantity of fuel. How can we get the fuel? It's one of our problems that we are having. It's quite difficult. Believe me, I request the whole world to support Nufusa Mountain. Also, Transitional Council in Benghazi has to present ultimate solutions on the ground. We need something handed in the ground. We need to see it on the ground. You know, now most of our families, most of our kids, most of our fathers and mothers are living in Tunisia. Some of them living in good housing, but some not. I myself slept one night at the refugee camp. I think that it is not at all suitable for. I thank everybody who supports this. I really appreciate these great efforts that are being made. But I think it's going to be more and more. So many families are following me, thousands, I think hundreds and thousands of families from Rujba and from Rohaibat and from Jadu will be forced to come to Tunisia. Also, there is some problem with Tunisian borders about the passports. You know, some people don't have passports. Some people are well preparing to make a passport. But, you know, now everything is stopped. And the Tunisian borders now, they refuse getting into anyone who doesn't have a passport. And this is another critical point. This is another problem. I think Nufusa Mountain is a special situation. It's similar to Matrata. Matrata and Nufusa Mountain are very, very, very special humanitarian and critical situation. I think NATO and Transitional Council in Benghazi have to do a quick and ultimate solution, because if they delay just one day, I think so many things will be sacrificed, either lives or materials or money or something like that.
Okay, so let's just summarize everything. The electricity, I mean, right now, the media centers, because we have lost contact with all the media centers in the Nufusa Mountain. We have lost contact with Jadu, and also I think ZINTAN today, we couldn't see them online. So they don't have electricity, they don't have generators, maybe even if they have, it won't last them for long. So even the messages from Nufusa Mountain, they are going to stop sooner or later if there's no action, going to be taken. Am I correct?
Wow. Yes, you are correct, and a very, very important point I would like everybody to listen to me and do his support. So many kids and so many people and so many women, so many families don't have passport. And it's not problems because they don't have passport, because our country now, as you see, it is in arrest. How can they do this? So the Tunisian boys now refuse people who don't have passport without taking any humanitarian aspect or considering for that. I myself have a problem with this, and I could somehow enter here to Tunisia by religion for that, and somehow.
So when you say that they don't allow Libyans to pass unless they have a passport, does that mean that the Libyans have to stay on the Libyan side, or they're allowed to go into the Tunisian side but not go further than the refugee camps?
I myself, I think the Transitional Council in Benghazi and the temporary government in Tunisia have to consider and to consider these things and make it easy for those people who are coming, who are rushing, coming from great terror and great fear. Some of them even don't know how to drive the car because they're quite crazy. Some families crying along the road. I think this is very, very, very critical. markets, and we are driving high along the stand, and the weather is quite hot here. They are refused, and they are sheltered in the desert. I think these things should be considered and should be executed.
Okay. I mean, this is the first time I hear about this, so we hope that this will be considered, and we will send out the message to every agency that we can. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Mr. Hamid, for this. Thank you so much for this report, and we will try to do our best from our side.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your contact. I am really happy with contact. I will try to get Skype and internet on my own computer at my own house. And I thank you very much. And I hope this reaches for all the good heart people. And thanks a lot for that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hamid. Please take care of yourself. Okay, thank you everyone for listening. This was the report from Mr. Hamid, who is an eyewitness to a lot of the happenings in Nafusa Mountain and on the border. There is a big problem in the humanitarian situation in Nafusa Mountain. We have been trying to point it out for weeks now, but it's getting worse and there is no action being taken. I wonder when there will be an action taken. I mean, how much worse does it have to be? Thank you everyone.